Welcome to the Endurance AI Championship. Race 4 of 8. We're just below the halfway point in this season. Championship battle. It's very close. Just to show you how close it is. Here's where the drivers currently stand. AOC leads, but only by 12 points. It's very close at the top. Chad Broski had dropped a couple spots after a really bad race at Spa. So he's going to have to try and work his way back up. Spencer Alfredo, Phil Slow, they're rounding out the top 5. Then Winotes had kind of a redemption race at Spa. And then Todoroki, Sawman, September Cyrus, Spring Roll, William Afton, Orange Chicken, Silly Man, The Beast, Denki Kaminari, Bernie Sanders, Mahavir Raghunathan, Frederick Pope, and then Bob McFarland. He is down here, just one spot below. And then your team standings, a little bit less close, but still could change at any second. The Baby Auto Parts still leads. Magenta Trees right there behind. And then it's Fickle Fat Racing, the Bo Coluxes, the Democratic Party, Silly Boys Inc., Yum Yum Speed, I almost said Mahavir Raghunathan Racing, MHA Racing, Raghunathan Racing, The Beast, the Banshees. Hold on, I'm having a big brain fart. And then the Norwals round out your team standings, then your manufacturer's standings. This one's kind of close. Porsches now take the lead over the McLarens. Let's BMWs, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Mercedes, and then Fords round it out. So now we open up the track map. So it seems like Spring Roll is currently on the fastest lap for qualifying. Well, not fastest lap, but he's the closest to the line. Excuse me, I'm a little sick, so I may cough a lot. You're just gonna have to get over it, loser. Spring Roll coming in very hot through turn 9. Now he's coming up on turn 10, but he does have slower traffic right in front of him. So he's gonna have to try and hope this lap is good enough because he may get held up. Spring Roll. Gotta see where he goes. He'll go first, of course, as of now. A 1:34.7, but Starpool, currently second in the championship, is hustling it around here. Starpool on a very good lap right now. We're gonna have to see where he goes. P1, oh! He actually gets beaten right at the end by Winodes, who was not going pink in any sector. Just showed up out of nowhere. AOC now coming around. We're gonna have to see where she goes. Good enough for first by about half a second. What about Phil Slow? He's been really good in qualifying. Only good enough for second. Probably got held up by Todoroki right there. No majorly fast times coming in just yet. William Afton goes P6. Currently, AOC is on the pole. Spring Roll will be the first one to come around to do a second lap. Does not look like he is any faster as of now. Frederick Pope goes P1 out of nowhere. 1:30.34 by about 3/10. As Spring Roll actually went pink in the final sector. But it's not an improvement. He was too slow in the first two. Orange Chicken, the next one to come around. He'll go P9. Chad Broski right behind. We're going to have to see where he goes because he's in the championship fight. Does not look like he set a lap, actually, so he may have went off track. Currently waiting on anyone to challenge Frederick Pope in that very yellow car. The Banana Mobile. As AOC goes P1 with a 133.4, only 8 hundredths faster. So it's still everyone's game. Phil Slow coming up next. He will not improve. Todoroki goes 14th. Sorry. So gonna have to see where people go. Where's the 609 gonna go? Qualifying's kind of been hurting him throughout the season. People coming around before the 10-minute mark will be able to go again. Spencer Alfredo, P3. Bob McFarland coming around. What's he gonna be able to do? Kind of been holding up Spring Roll the last couple laps. Bob McFarland goes 4th. Spring Roll, I'm sorry, goes 7th. Everyone but Chad Broski has set a time as of now. Chad Broski just setting a time right now, 1:32.9. That's good enough for pole. He'll get one more lap, but the zero, you need to watch out for him. He went pink in the first sector and improved in the second sector, so he is on it. What's it gonna be? Second, but misses out by 200ths. What about Phil Slow? What has he got? It's a green and a pink, but he still has 2 turns left. He's not quite done just yet. AOC goes first with a 1:32.8. Again, a lot of these times coming out of nowhere. What's Phil Slow gonna be able to do? Does not look like... Oh, it does look like it'll improve. He just went yellow in the final sector, but it was still good enough to get the pole by 4 tenths. Qualifying's really been good for him. His teammate, Spencer Alfredo, however, has not been as good in qualifying. Charging around the final turn. He's got green in all 3 sectors, so it is an improvement. 1-2 lockout for Magenta Trees Racing. Frederick Pope, will he challenge? He went pink in the final sector, but it's not good enough. He went yellow in the first 2. Can anyone challenge the 1-2 lockout by Magenta Trees? Oh, I think Chad Broski could be someone to watch. Will he knock him out? No, he will not. Not good enough just yet. Well, he won't get another lap. Kaminari jumps up into 4th. We haven't really seen much of him this season. So that'll be a good qualifying for him. Ugh, I hate colds. Very good laps by a lot of these drivers. But Magenta Trees, 1st and 2nd in qualifying, definitely gonna be ones to watch out during the race. So here's your starting lineup. We got Phil Slow and Spencer Alfredo on the front row. We already talked about them. I think that team's sitting high. They're 4th and 5th in the standings. So I think they got a good race ahead of them. AOC, however, gonna have to put in a little bit more work if she wants to keep the championship lead. Luckily, the person in 2nd is starting behind them. Denki Kaminari gets his best qualifying with a 4th, then Chad Broski and Starpool will be in row 3 together. September Cyrus and Springroll will be in row 4. Then Frederick Pope and Anthony Winodes will be in row 5. Bob McFarland and Orange Chicken in row 6. As in row 7 we have Sawman and Silly Man, teammates. So row 7 lockout for Silly Boys Inc. Row 8, we have the Beast and Shoto Todoroki. The Beast has not been that good with qualifying, and he's been crashing a lot. But maybe today will be the day where he can finally get a good result. Row 9, we got William Afton and Mahavir Gunafin. William Afton, we know he can put up a good speed if he's got a good race. Mahavir Gunafin has just been chaotic. Bernie Sanders will round out your field in 19th. So here's your race info. We're at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. I still haven't converted it from Fahrenheit to Celsius. I'm sorry about that. I had to update um, the overlays. So yeah, I'll get that fixed. I know probably most of the people that watch it very little, but I still appreciate they don't know Celsius and yeah. But yeah, it's still a very warm day, very clear. We're in for a good day. Currently waiting for the cars to roll off. So yeah, I think championship wise, sorry, AOC, it's a good spot, but definitely you'd want to be as high up as you can. Third place, however, you can still make a dive bomb on the inside at the start. So definitely a third place does not mean you're out of it already. But yeah, Phil Slow, Spencer Alfredo, gonna be on the front row. The person that owns the team, one of their drivers have not gotten a win in this series so far, but in another series that iRacing AI League um, hosts is the USF 2000 AI League or UAL, and he's only got one win ever. That was at Sebring in season 2 with Spencer Alfredo. So maybe Spencer Alfredo can get it done once again today. Oh my god, I'm sorry about that. But I feel like these teammates, they gotta at least try and help each other throughout the race because, they gotta try and bring a win home for the team. Magenta Trees Racing definitely gonna need a win. And they're in a good spot for the team standings. So yeah, they gotta realize that hey, we could take the constructors standings or team standings. So if they get a 1-2, it'll be very good for them, and could maybe even bring home a team championship. The Baby Auto Parts only has one driver, and that is Chad Broski, who is starting back in fifth. But obviously, fifth does not mean out of it. So here the cars go rolling off. The Mercedes and the Lambo on the front row. All 19 cars all girded up and ready. Hopefully we can get a good race, a good close finish. But here we go. The Mercedes has kind of had an issue with their cars just being able to stay on the ground at tight turns, and Austria has a lot of tight turns, so Phil Slow is gonna have to look out for that. But here they go around the final turn. Green flag is out. We are going green at Austria. Spencer Alfredo already having to defend the inside from AOC. Breaks late and will even take the lead. What a move from the 609. Up 2 spot. Well, almost lost a spot to AOC, but Phil Slow drops back 2 spots immediately. Already lost a spot to AOC and Spencer Alfredo, his teammate. Gonna have to try and stay close as here comes Starpool. Getting close. Spencer Alfredo kind of trying to drive away. Phil Slow staying close with AOC, not really letting her go just yet. As here they go, almost side by side. No pass happened right there as we see Starpool trying to defend from Chad Broski, but now trying to make a move on Phil Slow. Phil Slow gonna have to defend around the outside. It did work, however, as he is sitting in third still. But he's making AOC have to defend instead of trying to attack Spencer Alfredo, letting him drive away. All 19 cars made it through the first lap. About 10-second gap from first to last. Spencer Alfredo gonna try and take a look here at turn 3. Around the outside. Nicely done. Phil Slow back into second. This has now opened up a 3-second gap for Spencer Alfredo to try and run away. Biggest mover at the start of the race was Todoroki, up 3 spots. Biggest loser was his teammate Kaminari, already down 5 spots, almost outside the top 10 already. Starpool still holding on to 4th, not really making any pass, but AOC now trying to track down Phil Slow once again, just letting Spencer Alfredo get away. Phil Slow playing very good defense, keeping AOC behind. So Starpool's got to try and get up and catch AOC. Spencer Alfredo set the fastest lap with a 1:33.5. No one was even close to it that time, that lap. Starpool's got to try and catch AOC. If he can make the pass on AOC, that will put him in a very good spot for the overall standings, but AOC may make a move on Phil Slow. Phil Slow's gonna have to defend, as now AOC has to defend from Starpool, trying to send it up the inside, but he'll get a slow exit, won't get the pass done just yet. 1, 2, 3, and the points are currently running 3, 4, 5. AOC still trying to make a move. Knows that every position matters. It needs to try and get around Phil Slow once again, but isn't having much luck with that. A lot of the field still very close together. A lot of good racing happening throughout the field. As now Chad Broski trying to get a pass on Starpool. Chad Broski right behind. These long straights can cause you to get a good draft and catch the car in front. So a lot of good passing opportunities at this track. Spa had a lot of winding parts of the track, not very long straights besides the Kemmel? Is it Kemmel or Kennel? I think it's Kemmel. But other than that, there's not really any straight, long straights that you can get a good draft from. Top 5 have broken away from the rest of the field. They have about a 3-second gap on the car behind. but the car in front has about a 4.5-second lead. Spencer Alfredo in complete control of this race. AOC once again getting close to Phil Slow. Trying to make a move, diving down the inside. Phil Slow's gonna hang tough and defends very well. Got a good exit out of the turn. AOC's gonna have to stick behind. But we look back, Chad Broski now. He's gonna have to go around the outside to get around Starpool. Will he go for it? No, Starpool closes the door. Very aggressive racing happening. Spencer Alfredo will be in a good spot for the championship standings. He'll probably be very close to the lead, if not in the lead. Yeah, just these top 5, they keep getting closer, then farther, closer, then farther. But they've stayed about under a second from the car in front, really. AOC got a good exit out of turn 3. Gonna have to try and size up a pass going into 4. AOC trying to go around the outside, but Phil Slow gonna make it harder to do. Defends very well. AOC got still just having to settle for third. Almost about a second behind now, as they actually really caught up to Spencer Alfredo. Spencer Alfredo did a really slow lap. He now only has a 2.1 second lead, and we just saw a little bit ago that it was a 5-second lead. So maybe he had an issue with the car or something? But the cars in front definitely catching. He may have an issue. Is he in fuel saving mode? But that is definitely not a good sight for the team, especially with AOC catching Phil Slow once again, as we see in the back, Starpool defending, taking a very defensive line, as he goes wide. Starpool goes very wide. He will give up the 4th position. Chad Bursky in the 4th. Starpool falls back to 5th, as Frederick Pope now starting to catch up. Seems like Spencer Alfredo is starting to struggle with the tight turns, as we are less than a third of the way through. Spencer Alfredo definitely gonna have to be feeling the pressure now. Is AOC catching Phil Slow once again? Seems like AOC can really try and close in with Phil Slow around this part of the track. But that turn, Phil Slow usually is better than at. But AOC closing back in. As in the back, we see Starpool trying to defend from Frederick Pope. Starpool's now kind of struggling, as AOC trying to get a draft from Phil Slow. Phil Slow taking a defensive line. Only about a 1.5 seconds between Phil Slow and Spencer Alfredo. Phil Slow leaves the door open. AOC slams into the side of Phil Slow. Side by side going down. We're going to go up the winding turn 2 into turn 3. Phil Slow having to back out. But he's going to try and attack again, going around the outside. Will he do the crossover and try and go back to the inside? No, he will not. AOC moves back up into second. Basically shoved him out of the way in turn 1. That was a pretty dirty move. Spencer Alfredo now trying to extend his lead once again, back up to 2.8 seconds. But Phil Slow is not done. He is not done just yet. He is still fighting. He wants his position back. 0.2 behind AOC. This turn hasn't really proved to be a good passing opportunity. So he's just going to have to wait, as we have a crash with the 17 of Mahavir Raghunathan. He has gone backwards. What happened here? Oh, just spun it around. Came in too hot. Mahavir Raghunathan. Spencer Alfredo now seeming to do better with AOC out in front, but it seems like Spencer Alfredo isn't really doing too hot on the straights. As we have the 002 has gone around. Car's starting to lose grip with the tires, and they're starting to make more mistakes. Just went wide and lost control of the car. Luckily did not get hit. Phil Slow closing back in on AOC. Spencer Alfredo up to about a 4-second lead, as we are about 12 minutes, a little over 12 minutes through this 30-minute race. He has almost gotten back up to a 4-second lead. I think he was trying to do a little bit of fuel saving and got the numbers he needed. Now he's starting to kick it back up again. But it seems like in the straights he's lacking a little bit of pace, as Chad Broski is now actually closing in on Phil Slow. So Phil Slow may not even be able to get that position back from AOC, as now he is trying to defend from the 215. This time the 215 will not push him off the track like the 463 did. But he's got to worry coming up into turn 3. Here we go, around turn 2, into 3. Will the 215 do the over-under? No opportunity there. Seems like the 609, I'm really starting to notice, struggles with about the first sector. Then the second sector he's really good at. That's when he starts regaining his gap. Phil Slow now about 3 seconds behind, as Chad Broski may have gotten the door open, but Starpool is right there. Chad Broski trying to make a move, but Frederick Pope trying to make a move on Starpool. Very close racing. Nobody willing to back down. As some of these guys, like Frederick Pope, he's basically already out of the championship. He's not mathematically out, I don't think, but he would need a miracle, so he just wants to get wins. Starpool now trying to go down the inside of Chad Broski. Cannot get it done, but was very close. Chad Broski now going to try to go around the outside again. Will Phil Slow be knocked out of the podium? Side by side going down into turn 4. A little bit of a snaky backstretch, but Chad Broski already cleared him before turn 4. Now Starpool's going to try and make a move. Dives down the inside. Will Frederick Pope make a move too? No, he will not. But Phil Slow almost knocked out of the top 5. Just like that. Phil Slow's got to start trying to get it together if he wants to get a good result. Kind of a game of cat and mouse between the 463 and the 609. 463 closes in, and the 609 opens the gap. Just the gap keeps getting closer, then wider as we are about halfway through. AOC's got to start trying to kick it up a little bit if they want to get the win. So here are the last sectors. Based on how close they have been, AOC 3 tenths faster in that sector. Not good news for the 609. So 3 tenths in that first sector. What's the second sector gonna show? Spencer Alfredo 2 tenths faster. So barely any gain for AOC. Gonna have to see how this third sector plays out. Seems like Spencer Alfredo is gonna be about 2 tenths up. Still dying. Ooh, that last turn didn't really seem to be as good for Spencer Alfredo. But overall, a better lap from Spencer Alfredo, about 2 tenths faster on average as he goes very wide. AOC now less than a second. Messes it all up just like what Phil Slow did. AOC now closing in. Spencer Alfredo makes a mistake. Magenta Trees now out of it. Are they though? Who knows? AOC will get the better upper hand as Spencer Alfredo loses it. AOC is now your leader, but Spencer Alfredo really's got to hope that this is not the end and he can catch back up. But Phil Slow was not able to do that. Now about a second back. He's got his work cut out for him in his last 12 minutes. Spencer Alfredo now about a second and a half behind. Closest battle is Bob McFarland chasing his teammate Frederick Pope, who is chasing Phil Slow. Very good battle right here. Starting to get a little cloudy out on the track. I just noticed it got a little darker. Side by side, down into turn 3. This is where Spencer Alfredo lost it and where Phil Slow lost a lot of speed to Chad Broski. Frederick Pope will now pass him. Bob McFarland chasing him now. Phil Slow trying to hold on. Phil Slow lost a lot of speed the second AOC pushed him out of the way. Now he's just struggling to keep up as he just got knocked out of the top 5. He is the third biggest loser today. Your biggest mover is William Afton up 5 spots. Very quiet day, sitting in 12th. Nobody really quite around him, so he's just kind of chilling. Gonna have to see what AOC's gap on Spencer Alfredo is. Faster in the first sector. We're gonna have to see what the second sector will say, as Bernie Sanders has had an incident. Spins it back around. Just another coming in too hot. Lost control. Luckily was kinda out of the way. But got back going again very quickly. Yeah, seems like Spencer Alfredo will not catch AOC. Very disappointing for him. Magenta Trees, their team owner, has had drivers that have come close so many times, but just were not able to deliver in the end. We go back to UAL Season 3 at Laguna Seca. Alfredo Saucy was having a really rough season and was leading and then crashed the car. Well, didn't really crash it, just went off course like what Spencer Alfredo just did. Cost the team a win. Starpool just is Starpool trying to catch Chad Broski is the closest on-track battle as of now. Cars are definitely, I'd say, fairly evenly spread out until you get to the cars that have had incidents. That would be Bernie Sanders, Mahavir Raghunathan, Orange Chicken in 17th, 18th, and 19th. So these guys right here, they just want to try and get a good result. Starpool definitely going to fall a bit behind in the standings. May even fall back into third with Chad Broski ahead. But definitely not what they want. And then your biggest loser, let's take a look in on him. Denki Kaminari, almost about to get passed by your biggest mover. Had a really good start. I think he started 4th, I believe. Yeah. And just immediately fell back. He is now outside the top 10. And will probably get passed very soon for 11th. Is Afton now trying to look for a way around. As you go through the season, you can kind of start realizing where certain drivers' talents lie. So we look at Phil Slow, and he has been really good at qualifying, but he just hasn't really been able to deliver in the race. He is a very good qualifier. And then we look at the 666. Mid-pack qualifier, doesn't really have the race pace, but race starts are just atrocious for him. Every single race start so far, I believe, he fell back immediately as Afton has gotten around Kaminari. That is down 8 spots for Kaminari, as the Beast will now get passed by Silly Man, who's trying to catch up again. He lost a couple spots at the start, and has just kind of been playing catch up. Starpool, yeah, he is second in the standings. He really has to hope he doesn't come out in third, but AOC winning is not very good. AOC, this will be their second win of the season, back-to-back wins. hasn't been able to deliver on the longer races, as Starple now trying to make a move on Chad Broski. Starpool's kind of just stayed behind him the whole race. They've gone up equal amount of spots, so Chad Broski started 5th, Starpool started 6th. They've both gone up 2 spots, but basically have stayed together as AOC has gone off track. AOC has spun it around. Oh, locked up the brakes, slamming. Oh, got very close to the wall. And then almost backed it up into the wall. So guess who that is back in the lead? That is Spencer Alfredo. AOC has dropped back to 7th. That's got to be good for Starpool and Chad Broski trying to play catch-up in the championship. That may give Starpool the lead of the championship. Spencer Alfredo back where he needs to be. But Frederick Pope is closing in on Starpool. This race just got very interesting with less than 5 minutes to go. That is how easily that could have been what decides the championship right there. AOC, what I was saying, just wasn't really consistent on the endurance races. Had issues at Daytona, kept going off track. Same thing at Sebring, but has now come back at the Red Bull Ring. As we see up above, Starpool trying to make a move around Broski. This could be for the championship lead right here. Starpool's gonna be on the good line now. That's where you can get a good exit, but Frederick Pope right there. Will he send it free wide? Going into turn 4. Starpool has the advantage, but Broski's gonna have the upper hand here. As Starpool will now get passed again by Frederick Pope. That did not go as planned. Ugh. Also, because of the issues that happened, Phil Slow is now back up into a top 5. So Magenta Tree's looking very good for some team standings, but I think Chad Broski is in too good of a position right now. Starpool's got to try and hope that Frederick Pope can catch Chad Broski. Broski won the opening 2 rounds. Starpool almost won Sebring, but made a mistake in the... Yeah, I think every race so far, besides Spa, the leader was having a dominant race, or just a really good race, and then crashed with not much time left. At Daytona, AOC was leading, then went off track and gave it to Broski. Man, at Sebring, Star was leading, went off track. So yeah, just chaos. I'm not sure if this is the white flag. It is the white flag, okay. Cleared that one up. So, Spencer Alfredo. He's gonna put it back in victory lane for Magenta Trees since UAL Season 2. Although it did not go as planned about halfway through the race, he stayed where he needed to. And Spencer Alfredo will come around the final turn and will win here at the Red Bull Ring. Very nice. Top 7 have already crossed the line. We're waiting for everyone to finish. But very good race for Spencer Alfredo, Chad Broski. This has got to be good for the championship. I think that will put him back in the championship lead. Starpool could have been a good race, just could not get around Chad Broski, then lost the position to Frederick Pope. And then AOC, another inconsistent race, which will put them probably behind where they need to. Now with Spencer Alfredo winning, that could push him back to a third, maybe even fourth. So they have a lot to work for. But yeah, I think Magenta Trees will be very satisfied with this final result. So now, let's look at your official final results. So, Spencer Alfredo, he will take the win about 2.7 seconds over Chad Broski, even though it was a closer race than it looked like. Frederick Pope almost got second at the end. I was looking behind and I saw that he was almost about to catch him. Starpool, again, just not where he really needed to be. He'll finish fourth. Phil Slow will round out your top 5. Bob McFarland will be 6th. He's playing a little bit of catch-up in the championship. AOC just needs to clear up that inconsistency and could make a really good run for the championship. But until then, that's all that they can do. Springroll will finish 8th, not where he really needs to be. September Cyrus, 9th. Anthony Winode will be in 10th. William Afton started very far behind, but gained the most spots in the race. Well, actually tied for the most spots, up 6. Frederick Pope also gained 6. So very good for them. And then, right behind William Afton, tied for biggest mover, we have the biggest loser, with Denki Kaminari down 8 spots with a really good qualifying. Luckily, there is points for qualifying, so that will be good for them. Silly Boys Inc. did not really have a good race. They finished 13th and 15th. Combined, they lost a total of 1 spot. Shoto Todoroki, again, not having a good result for MHA Racing. They'll finish 12th and 14th. Todoroki got 14th. The Beast will finish 16th. Bernie Sanders 17th. Mahavir Raghunathan will be in 18th. And then a lot of issues for Orange Chicken, which will make them round out the field in 19th. Well, that was another very interesting race. Did not go as I expected it to. Um, Congratulations to Spencer Alfredo and Magenta Trees finally getting it back into victory lane. But the championship battle is not done just yet. The Endurance Cup will return at Watkins Glen. We got 4 races left. We got Watkins Glen, which is for Endurance Cup points. Then we go to Road America. Then we go to Alton Park. And then Endurance Cup points will also be awarded at Road Atlanta. That will be the final race of the season. That'll probably end late October. And then as soon as that ends, UAL 4 will get ready to go. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had fun with me coughing a lot, coughing and drinking a lot in the microphone. I'm very sorry about that. But hopefully you tune in next time for I almost said Spa, Watkins Glen. I'll see you next time.